finally stop procrastinating and create your dream life? Fear, perfectionism, and procrastination. I believe that these are inextricably linked. Why is it that we put off hard or unfamiliar tasks until later? At the start of every year, we inevitably start planning all the amazing things that we are going to do, be, create, achieve in the following year. All the changes that we will make in our lives. But how often do we look back over these come December and realize that most of these aspirations need to be transferred over to the new year? Even looking back now, how many of your goals from this year have you even touched on? Hello friends, and welcome to my channel where we discuss all things wellness, personal growth, and spirituality in order to help you overcome your limiting beliefs and pursue the life of your dreams. I'm Cecily, an Australian living in Paris since 2012. So let's jump right into today's video. We're talking about procrastination. I myself am an expert in procrastination. All through university, I would hand in my assignments late, often at the latest possible date, and I would take a 2% per day penalty for up to 14 days, bringing what would have been a distinction down 28% to a pass or a credit. So why did I put off the inevitable, and why do we do that in general? The truth is that tasks and activities often seem harder in your head than they are in reality. As I grew through my 20s, I learned that certain tasks like client work were important enough to avoid procrastination. But I still always ask for a clear deadline when I'm discussing a project with a client. So deadlines are motivating, but what about activities that don't have a deadline? Let's take the example of starting a new sport. It can be intimidating to sign up for a new class like Pilates or boxing and feel a little foolish as you stumble your way through the movements. Personally, I put off starting Pilates for years until my sister, who is really experienced in Pilates, she was visiting me here in Paris and she came with me to try out a new class. Yes, I was a little awkward and uncoordinated, but I enjoyed it enough to join the club and take classes for the next year. And just finding a teacher who is supportive and understanding and encouraging can make all the difference. As someone who is naturally shy, walking into any club, be that dance, fitness, sporting, cultural, it can be really stressful and daunting. So bringing a friend can really help to get you through the door and just realize that it's not so scary after all. It just helps you to take the first step. So what are we afraid of? Really? It might be a fear of physical pain if we're feeling unfit and we're starting a new sport, or perhaps a fear of performing poorly at a new activity and feeling inadequate and judged. But any new activity requires a learning curve, which may be steep or slight depending on your previous experience, and performing poorly is just part of the learning process. It's just something that you have to accept, and the sooner that we come to terms with that, the sooner we can start practicing and improving. So what happens if we put our fears aside and actually do the thing? Generally, we find that we've actually built the grandiosity of the task up in our heads. And when we actually do the task, it's not as hard or as scary as we thought it would be. And we might actually be good at it. And even if we don't see immediate results, we are making an improvement nonetheless. And the feeling of making an improvement can be really rewarding. We are, as humans, wired to improve, make goals, and achieve them. So in this fast-paced culture of same-day delivery and instant results, have we lost our sense of grit and patience? Have we become so used to being comfortable all the time that we're afraid to step outside of our zone of comfort and try something new? Is the internet's cancel culture causing us to hide in the shadows from public opinion and no longer share our work with the world for fear of judgment and ridicule? Is an all or nothing attitude of perfectionism really just an excuse to avoid exposing ourselves? Maybe you have a fear of being seen like I did for the longest time. I recently watched a YouTube video by Struthless. I will link his video below. It changed my life. It's called Advice for Perfectionists and Procrastinators, the 70% Rule. It completely changed how I approached content creation. Often I would find myself stuck in the final stages of editing my writing for hours, making subtle tweaks and changes that nobody would ever notice except for myself. And I would find myself feeling frustrated and restless after spending too long on any given article. I just wanted to publish it and put it out into the world. But I was afraid of it not being of a high enough quality to be able to show potential freelance clients. So I started applying the 70% rule to my work. I would pose myself these questions. Is the article perfect? No. Is it 70% perfect? Yeah. Okay, stop editing, publish the damn thing. Because just as my university essays proved, producing great work late got me the same results as producing average work on time. And the flow-on effect of delaying projects just results in other projects being delayed or not completed. Spending days perfecting one piece of writing or creative work won't necessarily lead to higher quality in the long term. As mentioned in the Truthless video, quantity over time leads to increased quality naturally. So this was a hard pill to swallow. As someone who prides myself on doing things to a high standard, even if done slowly, the idea that I should rush my work and publish something mediocre still makes me cringe. But I'm willing to test this theory because I understand the logic. Lowering your standards in the beginning leads to more content output, allowing you to practice your craft and evaluate how your work resonates with your audience. The feedback loop allows you to improve your next piece of creative work and better cater to the needs of your audience. So if we take the example of writing, once you've produced 6 articles to a 70% standard that have gradually improved, you may have only written 2 perfected articles and you wouldn't even know your audience as well. You see, it's only when we give ourselves grace that we are able to learn without fear and really improve. So my challenge to you and to myself is to do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone this week. Perhaps something that you've been putting off doing for a while. Next week, I will be filming a week in my life in Paris doing stretch exercises. A stretch exercise is an activity that pushes you out of your comfort zone. So for me, it will include activities such as swimming laps in a public pool for the first time in 15 years, dining alone in a restaurant, and actually I completed 2 stretch exercises today. One was asking a potential client of mine to meet for a drink as a friend, because how else do we meet new people if we don't push ourselves out of our zone of comfort when we're in, you know, a foreign city and we don't work in an office anymore? And she said yes, so that's amazing. And filming this video has actually been a major stress. Filming this video has actually been a major stretch exercise for me, as I've been putting off creating a YouTube channel for about 5 years. Hello, fear of being seen. Here I am. So wish me luck, and I'm really looking forward to bringing you along for these exercises. Hopefully it can inspire you to do something to push you out of your comfort zone and maybe overcome some limiting beliefs once and for all. I really do feel like that is how we expand as people and do things that we're really passionate about and sort of take those risks. The rewards are just so high. So if you stuck around until the end of this video, I appreciate you. I thank you so much. I hope you found some value in it, maybe a little bit of inspiration to get out there and do something that you've been putting off. I'd love you to join the community by subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications. I'm going to be uploading every week. If you would show some love by hitting the like button, maybe we can signal to the YouTube algorithm that my channel is worth watching. That would be so amazing, because this is something I've been dreaming of doing for many years. And if you've been dreaming of doing something like starting a YouTube channel, I hope that this gives you the push to do what you've been dreaming of doing, because even if this video gets 10 views, it's been such a thrill to finally get around to filming it and to stop making excuses. So thanks again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.